I am the founder and executive director for the Center for Suicide Awareness. I worked for the Department of Justice. I was the head of a crisis team. And that crisis team, unfortunately, had to give those death notifications to people that lost somebody to suicide. I remember going with law enforcement and having those conversations and seeing people literally collapse because their world will never be the same. But what I saw differently was if they died maybe in a car accident, they could grieve, and so many people supported them. They would bring over those great tater tot casseroles, and they would grieve and talk about it. But when people said, oh, their loved one died by suicide, the stigma around mental health and suicide stopped those tater tot casseroles. And that bothered me. And I remember every time that I went on a different call, I was like, why does this have to be this way? They're grieving. They lost somebody. Let them have those tater tot casseroles.
I nominated Barb for this award because I feel like she has attacked mental wellness in a way that is unique and different.
I remember when I wanted to create the Hope Line. And you got to remember, this is 10 years ago. So technology was still like a little iffy, right? Oh, can you really get somebody's feeling? Are you going to understand what they're saying in text? And so it was a really newer concept. I remember sitting down and reading some of the transcripts of people that did die by suicide. And I saw so many of the young generation, because you got to remember, suicide still is the second leading cause of death amongst our youth. And they were texting their friends. They were saying, you know what, this breakup really hurt. I didn't make football, and that was the only way I was going to get into college. They were talking about hurts that hurt them so deeply that the only option they thought was to die. And I remember reading those and saying, I wonder if they would have been texting to somebody that was trained, somebody that knew this is serious, we need an intervention, someone that had the skill set to say, this isn't just a breakup, but this is really devastating them, and they don't have some of the coping strategies to believe that life is worth living.
She has used some very creative, outside-the-box ideas to try and get to the people who don't always have resources or support.
I kept on saying, there's got to be a way, there's got to be a way. And I remember calling California. And you want to talk about a cold call? Hi, I'm Barb from Wisconsin. Do you even know where Wisconsin is? Yeah, sort of below Canada. You had a text line, and you've had it for quite a few years. Tell me about it. And I remember getting excited and putting the wheels in the motion and sort of getting sort of a flat response back here saying, we don't think it's going to work, Barb. Don't want to invest in this. I was discouraged, but I continued. There were days that I cried. There was days that it was like, why am I even doing this? And I stuck to it and started it. And we had 9 responders answering those original Hope Line texts. 9. Today it's 2,600. Man, you have somebody come up to you and say, oh, by the way, I use your Hope Line a lot, and it helps me so much get through those bad days. All those negative Nancys off my shoulder.
That has happened over and over again with people who come up in New York, in Seattle, in Wisconsin Dells, in Appleton, in Neenah. Wait, where's Barb? This is Center for Suicide Awareness. I need Barb. Is Barb okay? Everyone wants to know about Barb. Everyone wants to touch base with Barb. Everyone really misses her when she is not there. She clearly has impacted the community here locally, but also beyond.
I'm very grateful for the award. And I'm honored that people recognize our work when just an everyday person comes up and says things like, hey, the Hope Line's on the back of my school ID. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I know. I made the bill to tell the governor that he should do that. So those kind of little things, you're making an impact without having to scream it on the rooftop. Those are those little wins in life that I think are really rewarding.